I just left the gym, had some good laps, working on my stroke, my breathing, my form. Um, this video is going to be about something that people may not be aware of, is that social media companies, Facebook, Instagram, probably Twitter as well, TikTok probably, they make their money the longer you stay on the site, because they can get more advertising money, they can collect more data, and they use it to target ads towards you. So the idea is to keep you on the site. And because most people are walking around half asleep, they're drawn to drama, competition, and hate. So that's what they try to promote. Facebook, they've realized that when they promote posts or, that are hateful, divisive, opinionated, it gets people riled up, and people want to read, people want to respond, people want to react. That's what people are into. And it's gotten really bad on YouTube as well. Sometimes I watch some of the Jimmy Dore stuff because he points out some truths, but he always brings drama with it. And today a bunch of people they try to blow things up in their titles to say, oh, Russia invaded Ukraine, there's World War III coming, and Iran's going to retaliate Israel, World War III coming. They try to rile you up and scare you. So during the lockdown, it was fear. The negative emotions suck people in who are half asleep. So you have to be aware. What I'm going to recommend is my advice. I'm not charging you. I don't sell anything. I'm not going to make any money off this. Is start noticing how you feel, what emotions come up when you watch various content. Just be aware what emotions come up, and just be aware of what what you're watching. I stopped watching the news many years ago, or TV many years ago, because this was before YouTube and all that, and cable. And I was like, I'm just a passive bystander to whatever these people on NBC, CBS, and ABC are deciding to show me. They're controlling my food intake, my mental intake. They're in charge of it, and I'm allowing them, and they're feeding me a lot of junk. I noticed that people who don't watch the news are a lot happier. And in the news, they do report things that are really unfair and very upsetting. They do. And some of the independent journalists are pretty good at pointing out things that the mainstream media doesn't tell us. But what's the point? It's just upsetting. They do not report on positive and good things. Yesterday, I got really triggered. I watched, I like Breaking Points often. And Crystal is married to Kyle Kulinski. He has his own show, Secular Talk. He's got over 1 million subscribers on there. And I know that he and Krista were fans of Marianne Williamson, and they're friends with her. And I don't think they like Kennedy. I happen to like Kennedy, but I don't think he's perfect. I always try to get an outsider who seems like they care about the people more than these insiders. And yesterday, Kyle on his podcast said that the only reason Kennedy picked Nicole Sheehan, I believe, as his vice presidential running mate is because he really wants to fuck her, and he wants her money because she did pay for the Super Bowl ad. That triggered me because, I left a comment on that one, and I was very respectful, but I got really triggered that he put her down, that the only reason she was selected is because he wants to fuck her and he wants her money. I thought it was very demeaning, and I got really triggered, and it made me think about whether I even want to watch his show anymore. I did watch a few of his other clips. Some of them are pretty good, some of them are pretty funny, but that really bothered me. I think he picked her, maybe, I don't think he's into Asians. If we look at his wife, I don't think he's into Asians, and I don't know if she's his type. And I think he has a lot of donors already. I think he picked her. I mean, maybe he does want to fuck her. I really don't know. But I think he picked her because his main support base are young people. Young people are the main ones who like him, and young people are not going to relate to some old politician. I think Nicole Sheehan is very relatable to the young people and to the environmentalists and the women and the younger people. That's why I think he picked her. But also what's interesting is that to be on the ballot as a presidential candidate, the states keep changing their rules. You have to have a vice presidential, you have to have nominate your vice president, else you can't be. And Kennedy was already on the ballot in Nevada, and then they just changed the law to that all of his ballot access is removed because at the time that he was approved, he didn't yet have a VP pick. And so Nevada changed the law after he was on the ballot just a few weeks ago. In the last few days, they changed it to that it's all invalidated because at that time he didn't have a VP pick. So they're trying to keep independent voices out, which is upsetting. But anyway, there's a lot of upsetting stuff. But the point I'm trying to make is that a lot of the social media is bad for mental health. And I think it's prudent to be careful about what we consume because it is food. It can be triggering, just thinking about watching something where people are, when people give their opinions, it can be very triggering. The people that are very calming to me are people that are speaking more from the heart, more authentically, more with a calm voice. I'm thinking about Eckhart Tolle, for example. There's some other people I like to watch. But when people start giving their opinions or they start posting things like, look at me, or this is bad, or this is wrong, and they're really judgmental or critical, or they say things that are divisive, they're throwing out like these little, I'm going to call them like little bombs, and then people who read it, they have like a strong opinion on it. I don't think that's good energy to consume. I think we have to be careful what we consume. And a lot of people are addicted to hate, division. They're not even aware of it. They're like, oh, this hooks me, and they get hooked in. It's a hook. It's how do I say it? It's not peaceful. It's not. Maybe some people call it boring. People want to see things that like hooks them, where they feel a negative emotion. And that's really harmful, I think. But that's how social media companies make their money. When I'm on Twitter, it shows me the stuff that's pretty divisive. People having these strong opinions, or people saying, look at me, look at me. So I don't even want to go on there anymore. I've been just really a lot more aware of how things make me feel and how I perceive the world. And a lot of, like me perceiving men as bad comes from the guys that leave negative comments that taints my view towards men, or guys in the manosphere saying women hit the wall, women are worthless after 25, and all that kind of negative thinking. So that's not good food to consume. On Instagram, these young women are comparing themselves to these other women, like comparing. People just post whatever, they want to get a certain result. Nobody's really any happier than the comparing does not work. So I just muted a long time ago these women on Twitter that are always bragging about this and that. I'm like, I can't, I don't want to see that. It's not good for my mental health. So just to have some awareness, I think, of how the things we're consuming on our phones, that's food, just like the stuff we eat. It affects our thinking, it affects our hearts, and we get to choose what we eat, and we get to choose what we consume. So that's just what I want to make this video about. I had a great swim. My hair is still wet. Thanks for watching my video.